You've probably heard that singing through a straw does wonders for the voice. SOVTs, or semi-occluded, partially blocked, vocal tract exercises are scientifically proven to help singers. But if you do them wrong, not so much. So stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to avoid the biggest mistakes singers make with SOVT exercises. Okay, you're probably wondering, what's the big deal about singing through these straws? Why do they help so much? Well, if you think about it, the straw becomes an extension of my vocal tract, so that my vocal tract, this tube of my throat and mouth, now becomes much longer and much narrower. And this creates a buildup of back pressure. So the straw creates higher pressure in the vocal tract. And this is the magic, because this higher pressure presses down and it makes your vocal cords vibrate more easily. They come together more efficiently, and you need less energy. You need less effort to get them to start vibrating in the first place. It's fantastic. But if you don't have the right resistance, it's not going to do you very much good, and it can actually become a problem. So the first mistake you want to avoid is using the wrong sized straw. Too big of a straw is not enough resistance, so it's not going to give you that efficiency with singing. Too narrow of a straw can actually cause you to work too hard. So what you want to feel in a straw is just this nice resistance. You get a bit of a bullfrog throat effect. Now for me, I like to use straws in water, which brings up mistake number 2, not using water. Why use a straw in water? Well, a couple of reasons. First, the water is going to give you feedback. Those bubbles are going to tell you if your breath flow is staying steady. So this is one of the devices I use. I've got a bunch of SOVT devices, but this is a Dr. Vox. I've bought a few of these. I have them throughout my house, so I can always grab one. And you put water in this. So if I'm blowing too much air, you can see the bubbles go too much, not enough. So it's a nice steady flow. Also, the water helps you change the resistance easily. If I add more water, I get more resistance. Less water, I get less resistance. Another device I use, these are called vocal tubes. And I like this. Now, this is really wide and big, so by itself, it's not enough resistance. But if we put it in water, we can instantly change the resistance. So if I put it in too much, no, that's too hard to move. But I can just dip it in. Okay, I want a little more resistance. I go a little further. Oh, that feels good. I can feel that good, healthy resistance. So tip number 2 is use your straw in water. Another mistake, and this is one where there's starting to be a little bit of backlash against using straw phonation from voice teachers, because the straw can do too much of the work and we become passive. So when you're using a straw, I want you to be engaged. In other words, get active. When I'm using this, I'm making sure that I have good posture. I'm making sure that my breath is supported. As I go higher, I'm engaging the vocal tract. I'm making sure that my soft palate is lifting. I will do exercises with my tongue, moving the tongue back and forth so that I'm building accuracy and strength with the tongue. I'm also paying attention to body awareness. What do things feel like? So don't just become a passenger. Don't let this do all the work, because it will if you let it. Be active and engaged. Another mistake singers make is not using straws throughout their practice session. They'll maybe warm up with them and then set them to the side. And I keep straws with me all the time, because if I start to feel my voice get heavy or imbalanced, I quickly go back to the straws, because it's going to give me that efficient phonation, that opening and closing at the vocal cords. It's going to make it easier for me. I remind my body, my nervous system, what that feels like, and then I go back to singing and it's improved. And speaking of singing, a mistake is not singing into a straw, not singing your words. Now, to do that, you need a little bit of a special apparatus. The Dr. Vox has a little mask, or there's also the voice straw. I love these. These silicone cups I can sing into. I can sing words. So if I'm going to sing something, just a small town girl, I'm really kind of struggling, I can sing it into here. Just a small town girl. Okay, now I go to this wider one. It has a little less resistance, a little less help. Let me try it again. Just a small town girl. Just a small town girl. So it helps me find the right place. And then I go back to singing my song. If I hit a note that's giving me trouble, back to the straw. If I feel everything getting kind of heavy, I'll go back to vocalizing, doing exercises with the straw. So keep the straws with you at all times. Make them an active part of your vocal practicing. Hey, if you'd like a free course on using straws to warm up your voice, click the link below. It's there for you, no cost whatsoever, and we will talk soon.